click this, and I say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Hello.
Long time no see. Glad to have you back, dude.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna mute 1 second.
Yeah, sure. This is all staying in. This is all staying in.
For sure. Sorry, I was moving a plastic bag, and that's like the worst sound to have in audio.
It certainly is. It certainly is. All right, so we got Mandalay.
Yes.
You messaged and were like, "Yo, I want to do a deck doctor because I have a newfound goal in life, and apparently it's this Mandalay deck."
It's not so much goal in life. It's just more. I had no desire to really build or plan anything for this game for a while because it's been kind of stale.
Yeah, fair.
But Mandalay just kind of speaks to me. She sounds fun. I like her
that.
symbols.
I love that. All right, well, hit me with the pitch. What's going on with Mandalay?
So what I like about Mandalay is that her enhance doesn't say non-throw.
Okay.
So there's a funny card that has the throw keyword under the good symbol that also has a combo that doesn't necessarily need to be an attack.
Yeah.
And you just got it right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And another thing is that she just so happens to have a card that works really well with her that has a high block in her own foundation.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's neato.
Yeah.
This is a really cool deck. This is a cool idea.
Yeah.
So what do you need my help with? What do you need from me?
I just want to kind of, as normal, it's just a fine-tuning thing.
Sure.
One thing I've noticed about the good symbol in general right now is that the damage pump is very much focused on the character as opposed to on board. So I just kind of want to see what things I can do to kind of push for lethal a little bit better.
Yeah, I totally get that. Totally get that. I'm doing a little bit of looking. So obviously one of your big tactics here is using Facepalm Takedown. Tell me about the other choices that you have in your deck of like why have you chosen this or that or so on and so forth. And let's see if we can make some ideas happen.
So back alley haymaker.
Yeah.
Missouri Smash is kind of interesting because it still allows Mandalay enhance if it deals damage. Mandalay response, I mean. So it says if this attack deals damage, build the next foundation in.
Sure.
So I still play Missouri Smash. It'll build in, but because I played a foundation, I can still respond with Mandalay and give something -2 difficulty.
Right.
I think that just kind of works well. Hardened jab.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse throws a throw, a punch throw even, and then create capture net just is really good with this character.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense to me. Yeah,
Cat Scratch is more of an experiment. It's a punch, so it does work well with the other packages, but I can also not play it.
Mm-hmm. I personally absolutely loved Cat Scratch when I played it, and it was one of the main ways that I killed people is I played Cat Scratch after like 4 or 5 foundations, and it just gave it +4/+4, and it was like just good enough, you know. Like it already starts very big. Just playing one move into Cat Scratch says it's like an 8 damage move for kind of free. And we don't even necessarily care about the top enhance. It's just like that's not a thing that we care about.
Yeah. That's definitely something I've noticed.
set 4, set 5, set 8. That top enhance might be a problem, right? Because like there's gonna be like probably more snapping of momentum and so on and so forth. But at the moment, I don't think it's necessary. You know.
I think it has a cute interaction with Hardened Jab, but otherwise it's not super necessary.
Sure. Still doing a little bit of looking.
Take your time.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay, so here's what we got at the moment. Okay. So let's just talk about the attacks first. So Confident Counter-Strike, you said you had an issue with damage, and this is just like the most generic if the last move was blocked damage thing, right? It comes in, starts at, it's a 5 mid for 4, just kidding, 5 mid for 6, because this is always played second, right? And then if it was blocked +3, so it's a 5 mid for 9. It's fairly cheap. It is, it's a 3 difficulty, right? If they, whatever, just because of how Mandalay works.
Yeah.
But it always like wants to be played as a second move, right? And it also, as Mandalay says, that a lot of the times, like as soon as Combat Counter-Strike hits, like as soon as it works, your opponent just stops blocking the first move, which means things like Missouri Smash work better, right? Things like Reverse Throw work better, because you still get the value out of them that you want. Like going Missouri Smash, they full block it into the Confident Counter-Strike. This thing probably just like swings for the 9, and you don't have to commit a bunch of stuff for it, right? Option, not the option, right?
Yeah.
Invincible Class, it's just another throw. That you could just make this a throw deck. I don't know if you necessarily want to do that. This easily could be like a 2 of if you wanted to take like 2 back alleys out and one of the capture nets out or something like that. I'm not positive. It hits harder than Reverse Throw, but Reverse Throw has an ability where this thing doesn't. It's 1 less difficulty. It's a different block zone. I don't know how our blocks are looking. They look fine. Yeah. Olive Candle Blast is a 1 of. I think playing this card late in the chain for cheaper is cool. Play a move, play Cannon Blast, swing for the fences is good. And then lastly, Future Charge is just like more draw power for your 6 hand size character. It probably does like a better job of like what Reverse Throw's trying to do, besides the fact this card is a throw, right? This card's just like the most mid move of all time, but it's fine.
Yeah, I can see that.
Initial thoughts
It
on
also
the
has a
attacks
high
that I
block.
picked?
I think I like Future Charge the most simply because it's a high block, so it can go into
Sure.
Facepalm a bit better.
You like that better than
Cannon
Class
Blast
that also has a high block?
I think so. I think I want the card draw more so than I want the damage in that aspect, which is a little bit counterintuitive to what I said.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like more cards is more damage just inherently, typically.
Right. Yeah. On to the foundations. Good impressions is just damage, right? You just say that the first one is big, and it works really well with Confident Counter-Strike. Like, these 2 cards are, like, surprisingly good on Void and, good together. Like, but this is a known quantity, right? First one gets a lot of damage, like a Facepalm, right? You just give it +3 damage for free. It gets blocked because it's a 9 damage move, so of course it gets blocked. And then First Impression says that this thing is also 9 damage, and also 8 speed, right? So, like, this wombo combo is really hard. Advice for winners: yes, your stuff is cheaper, but this says that the difficulty gets lower, not the check gets better. And so, advice for winners works. We have a Chameleon high blocks, so I don't know if this is going to make it in, but it's an option. Harden's a good move, just for that damage pump. We only have 1 hardened move, but you could easily take, if you wanted to, and put in the good symbol hardened package. Or let's pretend that we switch symbols from the good symbol to something else. You could put in the hardened package under the void symbol, and I think hardened would be find a good spot.
I think Harden actually might be fine anyway because it gets the throws to that next damage level no matter what.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Big fan of Resistance. Resistance is a card you didn't have on your list. Gift from Mom. We don't have a way to really deal out our momentum. Sans Haymaker, right? So we get to make this move really fast, but this is always our opener, and so it's only ever 5 damage, right? Because this is the next move gets the 2 damage. So like this is only ever an unblockable 5 damage move. Sometimes like going back alley Haymaker, play a Foundation, play Reverse Throw. It's a 4 diff, right? Because it gets -2, and then give this guy +3 damage. It got another +2 damage. It just worked, right? So now it's discard a momentum for guaranteed 5 damage. Draw your card. Continue to play the game.
Yeah,
I think this is good.
I did notice that in my first run through. Yeah. Because I did play this deck a little bit. I think I do want the momentum out, so I think that's a good one to just kind of throw in.
And then lastly, just good impressions, just your character a second time, but it's on board. And so if you don't have the ability to weave in the foundations, right? Because weaving in the foundations is essentially discard 1 card, right, with air quotes, to make the next thing minus difficulty. This is just flip your foundation for -1. This just like turns all these moves a little bit cheaper. And you can triple up, right? Or double up with Mandalay. So like I'll enhance good impressions, flip, play a foundation, play my cat scratch. My cat scratch is a 1 difficulty move. That's pretty good. That feels okay.
I actually really like good impression because it says your next punch attack and not the next card you play is a punch attack.
Yeah.
Because Mandalay says if the next card you play is an attack.
Right.
So what I like about that is I can play an attack, flip good impression, play 1 or 2 or 3 foundations. The cat scratch still has that -1, so it will then get -2. So I like that.
Yeah. So foundation wise, obviously you're a fan of good impressions, gift from mom. Any of the other foundations that you're a fan of?
First impressions, I'm a little bit wary on. I think it could work. I'm trying to remember if I have any other first enhance kind of competition, but I don't see any.
Sudden appearance is first enhance. Commit a check gets -2.
But I can do that one later. Someone's.
Yeah, it's not first enhance, first attack.
Yeah.
Besides
so I can
that,
probably throw in. I can probably throw in first impressions. Yeah.
Okay.
I think all those are pretty good for the foundations, especially Harden.
Okay.
Because like I said, I need that damage pump. So I think if I were to do this, a little bit strange, 2 Harden, 3 gift, and like 2 first.
2 hardened, 3 gift?
Because I'm always getting a momentum.
2 gift.
2 gift? All right.
2 gift.
I'm just getting a momentum all the time, so
having
it's just
2 of this on the board sucks.
Fair.
9 times out of 10 you don't want to, right?
I just want to see it as the thing.
And you said how many first? Just 2?
2, yeah.
Love it.
And I think 2 good impressions are good too. I think 2 of those.
Okay, we're making this bitch bloated. I love it. So let's talk about attacks, and then we're gonna go clean all this out, right? You said you liked Future Charge. You said that was the only one you liked. You didn't like Cannon Blast. You didn't like Invisible Class. You didn't like. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do damage. Invisible Class, Future Charge, Counterfeit, Confident Counter Strike. I love that it's misspelled here too. I didn't realize that.
It's the name of the card. It's
You're
Confidence
right.
Counter Strike.
You're correct. And then Cannon Blast. So my question is I think this is a cool card. What gets cut? Because we have to play a minimum 3 of this because of its ability, right? Like, I don't think playing 2 of this is good. And I think that like now that I'm looking at your list, like the only things that get to leave are Capture Net, Missouri Smash, which do similar yet different jobs. This has a conditional draw, but this is just like really good with your character. I think this might just get left on the cutting room floor. Whenever they inevitably ban jab, I think it just instantly gets replaced, right?
That's what I was thinking, is like, I think the card that it would actually take is jab.
Yeah.
I think that's a very strange thing to say. I think I just want the card in hand more than I want the built foundation, if that makes sense.
Well, this is a card in hand.
It can be. It's not always.
Sure, not the first time, but every time afterwards. And then this card says that you have fuel for the -2 difficulty.
But it's the card that's being added from jab and attack. Like the chance of Future Charge having an attack is higher than Hardened Jab when I'm not playing as many cards face down from deck.
And you care more about drawing an attack card rather than drawing
a card, like drawing a foundation. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna remember that whenever you have 2 Desperate Mainstream Success in your deck, but we'll get there.
Fair. That one was just because I needed to cut something. Like,
sure,
I was
sure. We'll get there. I am down to cut these Hardened Jabs, but realize that this is statistically a stronger card than this card. In every sense of the word.
I'm not saying doing that now. I just think it's something to consider at some point.
Looking at these 2 cards, 4/3, 2 high block, 4/3, 1 high block, 3 mid for 5, 3 mid for 4.
I fully agree.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
that Future Charge is definitely a. I designed this before the set was even a twinkle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I actually I really really like your attack lineup to the point where depending on how you feel, I could even like see us cutting a back alley down by one and putting in like another cool card, like another cat scratch if we wanted to. I think you're gonna kill a lot of people with cat scratch, man. I
I think so.
I think cat scratch five foundations, you just murder everybody. You just slam them.
I kind of agree. Uh,
The biggest thing on this
and
card
that's
is
the
just
thing is that
the stun 2, right?
this is Sun 2. It also is a draw card. It is also build the foundation. Like it's doing everything.
The real question is like how many stun 2s do you need, right? Because you've got 8 of them in your deck.
You can never have enough Sun 2, my guy.
Sure. This is just a big. This is a no pun intended big haymaker. This is a big finisher move, and you only have 3 of it. This card is cool to do that. But it is. This is not cat scratch because this move just gets blocked. It gets blocked every time.
I think
It's just a too high. It doesn't. It's gonna get blocked.
I think the idea of Facepalm is good. I think I still cut it. I think I cut 1. I think I replaced that with a cat scratch.
I love that. I love that. Not being so honed in on the cool thing that you want to do to make a bad deck. I absolutely love that. I think that is a smart move. That is a smart move, my friend.
I can still do the cool thing and have less of the funny card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the self-control. Now let's get to your foundations. We've got a bunch. What do you want this number to be at? We got 22 attacks, so 66 is like the upper limit.
I think 66 is kind of where I want it to be. I think that's where it was before we added the cards. It was around that point.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And I think that there's some... Oh, go ahead.
Let's start ripping cards out.
Yeah.
Let me just show you the cards that I don't like. Manly Friendship.
Yeah, that was an example. So the reason why I did Manly Friendship and a few of these weird choices is that I wanted a cheap foundation that I can just play and still get Mandalay benefit, right?
Sure.
Because if I could just keep spamming like two difficulties, it becomes harder. But if I'm playing this as my 3rd card, it's not too bad.
Yeah. The only thing that this card does, right, and you gotta is it's a different version of Hero's Inspiration, right?
Yeah.
I play Manly Friendship. It's in my stage. I do the cool thing where I give my create capture net +1 damage. How do I put it up in my card pool? Just kidding. My brain said that I could just add it to my card pool whenever, all willy-nilly. This card sucks. This card's bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like Maxi or like Cassie Cage. I'll put it up and then build it down. That just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Hey, this card's gone. I hate this card.
Yeah, I'm
Celebrity
okay.
Status.
Celebrity Status is just interesting because I can make ways to draw cards.
Sure.
I like I said, it's the guaranteed attack draw.
Yeah. I think that like this card, I think you are supposed to max this out before you max this out because this will always be live, and there are a lot of decks that are just like hating on momentum, right? Especially with, and let's talk competitively. This Melee deck is not going to be the most competitive thing on the planet. Moneta is one of the big players again, right? I think Moneta has a spot in the meta. Moneta stocks go up, which means you have to have momentum hate, which means that this card is going to be blank versus a bunch of good decks versus a bunch of fire decks versus a bunch of all decks. So like I think this is going to be just more useful in the long run.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that they play in tandem with each other, but I don't need Celebrity Status as much as I would want Destined.
If you had draw on your face, right? If you were playing all symboled like Kirishima 1 or all symboled All Might, I'd be in, right?
Yeah.
But you're not. So I just don't. There's not enough draw power consistently for Celebrity Status to work. We're gonna cut it. Bonds of Friendship is out of 4 of.
6 check, 1 high block, one difficulty is, like I said, it benefits from Mandalay's effect while also just being a decently good card. Plus, there's a lot of Furies around. It's just never a dead card because a lot of decks do run Fury, and if at the worst, it's a 6 check.
So I think that you are allowed to play Bonds of Friendship, and here's the PSA for everybody at home, right? I think that if you come into this with the idea of, I want to play Bonds of Friendship, you need to realize that you are sacrificing cool card text for these numbers. And as long as you're okay with that, things like Harden get cut. Things like it can't be, we don't get to cut that. Things like Adorable Telepath get cut because you're valuing the 1 high block 6 check more than the card text, which is fine. That's a strategy, a thing to do. But I think that I think Bonds is a really easy spot for me to cut personally because I care about words more than numbers. Put that on a calendar.
I think I think it's just the combination of words and of numbers entirely for Mandalay specifically that I like this.
Sure.
Especially because it has the high block to combo with Facepalm. It has the Fury is still a relevant keyword. I think it's a decent tool for this specific deck. I do agree that don't just jam it in every deck because of numbers.
Yeah.
I think in this specific deck it works. Alternatively, I could see it being a 2 or 3 of with 2 more on the side, just in case I need that.
Sure. I'm totally down for 2. I think running this at a 3 of is the max that I will do anymore. I think running it at a 4 of is genuinely a mistake, and 3 is the highest number I want to go. And that's if I'm playing a mono 5 lineup, and you're not, and you make your stuff easier to play.
Yeah. So
I don't think that you need the 6 as nearly as bad as you think, and I think that you could just run straight 5s and be fine. But if this is your deck, man, I'm down to follow you.
I value the 6 actually way less than the other 2. Both top left and top right numbers, but yes.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. What is Battle Resolve doing in your deck?
Like I said, I wanted a cheap foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted something that was more likely to build off of Haymaker.
Yeah.
Because I only have one other 0 diff.
Yeah.
That's the mentality. That's all I was looking for.
Sure.
This card can be cut as easily as it was put in.
Love that.
It was one of those that I was just trying something.
Male Bonding and Manly Passionate Guy. What are your thoughts on these cards? These cards are the exact same. They have the exact same slot, and you get to play 4 of them total. And I notice you're playing 2 and 2. Can you give me a reason why you're playing 2 and 2 and not 1 and 3 of either?
So it's similar thing with the top left number being a 1 diff.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it's just because my foundation block numbers are rather high. Mm-hmm. I think Manly is just less likely to be procced than male bonding.
I agree. I agree fully.
I like having the utility of both because I do have some lower block numbers, but
my opinion is I think that the book move is to put this at a 1 of and put this at a 3 of. I think if you double build male bonding on turn 2, your opponent is less likely to poke you, and if they do poke you and don't put you in the danger zone, having built 2 free foundations, you kind of just get to run all over them. You kind of just get to murder them for free. Especially with all this minus difficulty you get to do. It is incredible. Not to mention, it builds more cards for your cool Harden Jab to pick back up. That feels very good.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And I could probably do an entire Tam talk on why Manly Passionate Guy is a worse card than Male Bonding in our current format of us being hyper aggressive, but that is for another time. Let's see how many cards we've cut. We've done it. We got to get a bunch of high blocks out of this deck.
We gotta get more bids too. Oh man.
All right, so let's take a look at the high blocks, right? Here's where your high blocks are coming from, which means I have to get rid of them from attack cards, which means things like Good Impressions and Bonds of Friendship just have to leave. Good Impressions is gone. We don't get to play this card at all. It's goodbye.
Okay.
And then we get to pick either Hardened or Bonds of Friendship, your choice.
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do.
Or you could do 1 and 1 and be a total weirdo.
I think Bonds is just worse overall.
Love it.
I think, like I said, I think I can cite it if I feel like I need it.
You ready? Let's look at this number, right? Let's look at the 1 diffs you have. You are not hurting for spams even a little bit.
Right. It's just I want more spams because of my character. That's more the idea.
Yeah. Totally agree. You are not hurting for spams even a little bit. So I think that we are good for killing the bonds. Okay, so now mids. Our mids look good. What am I allowed to increase? We could increase the small and limber and then sudden appearance, right? Hold on, what are we at? 67. But that means we have to cut some low blocks. So what low blocks are we playing?
I think we just cut Manly entirely. I think it's just kind of a gone card.
I think that's fine. And then, can I sell you on 2 Heroes Inspiration and not 3? I get that it's really cool with this thing, but I think it's like not that great.
It's not even cool with that thing. It's cool with Cat Scratch.
That is fair. Does it say before?
Nope.
Each foundation in your card pool. That's fair. That's fair. I guess add 1/1, draw 1 is like not bad. But I think that there's just like better things you could be doing with your time. And that is having a more consistent deck. We got to increase this number. I think that small and limber should be a 4 of.
Okay.
Obviously, telepath is the thing that you do, right? But small and limber says your charge kick fury. Charge kick fury. This works. This works.
Yeah, so Small and Limber is more in for having something to commit, and Adorable Telepath leaves the field.
Totally.
So it still procs Small and Limber, and it does them multiple times.
Yeah, you do this with self-sacrifice as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good card to just play on the field and say, I've got more foundations than I look like I have.
Yeah. Am I crazy that I want to take first impressions down to a 1 of and put no taking up to a 3 of?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I think First Impressions is a card that I've never fully been sold on. I can see utility for it, but the fact that it's first is so restrictive.
It's so incredible whenever you're down to just like slam a reverse throw and get a +3 damage. That's good. That's
right.
Like a good move, right? But it's not a thing that like you never want to see 2 of this, honestly, in any game. It's not even that good after turn 2.
Right. It's like if I see it, cool. If I don't,
but
cool.
Flip 1 Foundation for 6 stats, 6 SIX stats is very good.
No, and I agree with that. It's just yeah. It's just one of those things where. All right, do we want more mid blocks though? Because those are what we're kind of fighting for. So only 17.
I don't hate this. My big thing here when it comes to block zones is your mid blocks are just not in your foundation or your attack base, right? I think if you need more mid blocks, you maybe like take out Missouri Smash and put in the counter strikes. You take out like 1 capture net, 1 back alley, and put in the counter strikes or a cannon blast, right? Like I think the big thing that you're missing is not mid blocks here, but mid blocks here, and that's why this number is so low. But at the same time, you want to play these cards, you don't want to block with them.
There is a mid block that I do need. I need more passing. I only have it at 2. I just realized.
Yeah. I mean, I am down to put it up to a 3 of and just like run the 56, right, or the 67. Like this is not a bad number. It is technically, it's like running 19 attacks in your 60 card deck, right? It's right
totally fine by me.
Especially because we've got draw card, possible draw card here, draw card, possible draw card. Like we've got options for draw.
No, I definitely dig it.
Yeah.
No, this deck looks quite a bit better than it was before. Like it looked fine before. It's just.
I think this character is really, really neat, and I think this character has a lot to be discovered, and I think this character is one of those characters that is only going to get better the more tools that she has available to her. I'm excited to see what this character looks like in set 4. I think set 4 Mandalay might just like look absolutely nutty if there's anything that deals with card pool at all, right? Imagine like twice has the life and void symbol and like wants multiple named cards in his card pool in order to activate his quirk.
Right.
She's gonna just murder people because of his kit.
And I really, like I said, I really dig this character. I think call out post to people watching this. I think focusing on the staff strike thing, it's cute. I think it's as good as every other staff strike, which is just okay.
Yeah, I think she just Staff Strike is a very powerful card with a lot of weird setbacks, and she fixes one of those weird setbacks by making the first one cheap.
Yeah,
right?
but it's still Staff
It's
Strike.
still
like
just a 4
it's
mid for
going-
6, and so you have to play 7 of them to kill Nomu. And you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like I said, I think this deck looks good. I think Mandalay is going to be a character I stick with. I'm already thinking of a life build. And I probably throw up a void build. I just like this character a lot. I think she plays in a way that I enjoy. So
You like Cat Scratch a lot because this card is fucking tight.
It's a neat card.
Yeah.
Even with the first enhance not being the focus, like it's just a neat card that just does.
So good.
Oh, I agree. And
Alright,
I think.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish your thought.
Oh, I think Here's Inspiration is just a fun card to put in with Cat Scratch. Like I said, with that whole interaction.
I agree. And it's got two of her symbols. Man.
Oh yeah.
The
Which
designers
was
were
the other one that has?
thinking.
What's the other one?
Good life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you still get to do this stuff. It's like these cards were made for each other. Crazy.
Feels like it. Oh, all the same symbols. Oh my god.
Wow. Original. Thanks, Jasco. Thanks for building my decks. With that, man, any final thoughts before I get you out of here?
No, like I said, think this is good. Think this is gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, man. All right, we'll catch you. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Peace.
Bye.